I was really glad they decided not to cancel the college football season last year because I'm a big college football fan. Anyone else here? Nice. I love college football. The one thing I've never been able to figure out, though, is how is Army not the best college football team? Like, there's just a bunch of school students playing football against each other, and then for some reason, one of the teams is the United States Army. The most elite fighting force on the planet, and they're not that good. Doesn't make any sense to me. How do you defeat Nazi Germany, Soviet Russia, and the Islamic State in Syria, then lose to Western Kentucky? They've also lost to the Warriors, the Spartans, and the Trojans, which means other teams are naming themselves after armies than beating the actual army. And it's got to be weird for the team playing the Army because, like, everything before the game celebrates the Army. First, jets fly over the stadium in honor of the Army. Then everyone sings the national anthem in honor of the Army. Then the announcer's like, will everyone please stand and clap for the man in seat 3B. He was in the Army. Then they're like, all right, now let's humiliate the Army. Let's beat them 54-12. It's true, the only branch of the military with a good football team is the Air Force, but they only have a ground game. It makes no sense at all.
You know, most comics are always talking about how much they hated high school. Not me, buddy. I loved high school. I loved high school. High school was the best time of my life. I played high school football. I love football. Utah's a football state. Y'all got a university at every exit. Got the most educated people I ever seen in my life. No matter where I got off, it was a university. I love football, even much on college football. Well, I like college football, and I don't care for the pros one bit, but I love high school football. Because, see, I played high school football from 72 to 80. Best 8 years of my life. Most of y'all got that. God bless y'all. That's amazing. Most of y'all got that. I'm so proud of you. I went to high school from 72 to 80. Matter of fact, I made team captain all 3 senior years. You laugh if you want to, that's pretty good. My 3rd senior year, I was not only team captain, I was assistant coach. You don't see a lot of player coaches in high school, do you? You just don't see that. And it ain't like now. They just passed a law in North Carolina, the stupidest law I've ever heard of in my life, that a kid has to play, if he's going to play high school sports, he has to pass his grade and attend school. You people have that here. Are you kidding me? How are we ever going to compete with the SEC in Alabama if the kid actually has to go to school? I played ball with guys never even went to school, just showed up for practice. And no, they got to go to school now and attend class. I never forget my 3rd senior year, I was team captain. We were playing a big 4A school in Raleigh called Garner. We were a little 2A school, little farming community, and we were all big boys, all twisted steel and sex appeal. Yeah. And every time we played in big 4A schools in Raleigh, we'd beat them like a red-headed stepchild. Yeah! Of course, I mean, we should. Most of us was 26, 27 years old. I mean, you can't even beat a 15, 16-year-old. I mean, what good are you? You're a grown man. One night we played Garner. Garner had an all-state running back, went to Clemson on a full scholarship. That boy was good, but he was coming up the middle, and he wasn't running on me. I played nose tackle, middle linebacker. He tried to come up the middle, bam! I'd eat his lunch, take him out. After quite a few plays, I've been giving him negative yardage. He got tired of it, threw a quick pitch. He caught it in a run, and he's running down the sideline. And there's 3 of us chasing him. And as he's running down the sideline with his quick pitch, 3 of us chasing him, and we're ready to tackle him. We look. There's a 10-year-old kid running up the sideline going, tackle him, Daddy! Tackle him, Daddy!
I appreciate y'all. So good to be here. BYU country, huh? Isn't that right, huh? I'm a big football fan, right? I'm an Auburn Tiger, War Eagle. All my family's Alabama. I actually come from a long line of disabilities because I stutter. My father was blind, and my mother and brother are Alabama fans. So, man, it's been tough. And my daddy really was blind. That's a true story. My parents divorced when I was 2. He moved to a different town. Every year at Christmas, my mother would give me $20 to go buy my blind Alabama fan father a Christmas present. And I remember going down to this store, and I bought him this awesome Auburn sweatshirt. And he wore that thing around for 3 weeks saying, "Roll Tide!" ought to be ashamed of myself, but I'm not whatsoever. But it's cool being here because, I mean, you guys have a great history. When I was a little boy, I love me some Steve Young, man. I mean, I love, you know. Auburn had the great running backs like Bo Jackson, and he was like me because he stuttered. It was so good. I'm like, Bo stutters. And then 2 years before that, Herschel Walker was at Georgia, and he stuttered too. I'm like, well, obviously, if you stutter, you're going to be a football player. So I was the starting quarterback for my Opelika junior high school football team in 1985, and I'll never forget the first game of the year. We were down by 5. We had all 3 timeouts left, but I knew that I was going to be able to drive my team down for that winning score, and they were going to carry me out the field like Rudy. It was going to be the best thing ever. I'm like, yeah, man. I remember I got behind my center, and they called me for delay of game. So they backed us up 5 yards. I got behind him again, and I dropped back to pass, and him, my best friend, Adrian, still my best friend to this day, hit him over the middle for a 14-yard gain. I ran up to the referee. I said, timeout. Timeout. He charges with all 3 timeouts. We lost the game.
I hated being small. My parents wouldn't let me play football because of it. They thought I was too small. They were afraid I would get hurt. So instead, they made me join the marching band. Yeah. Apparently, they thought emotional scars were somehow preferable to the ones you could see. I wanted to be on the football team. I thought the uniform was cool. You know, the helmet, the pads, you put them on, even in middle school, you look like a man. My marching band uniform had a helmet, but there was a giant feather on top of it. I did not look like a man. When I started band, I was a trombone player. Yeah. I decided that was too nerdy of an instrument for me. I wanted to play an instrument that would impress girls. I found out that instrument is called Don't Be in the Band. No one told me that, though. So I decided to play the drums. Certainly, they would be cool. Drums are cool if you play in a rock band. If you were playing bass drum in a Mary Poppins halftime show, at some point, you're going to see the inside of a locker. That's just the way it works. Those are the rules.
My school was a bit expensive, I will say. I studied abroad in East Tennessee. Yeah, very exotic in them thar hills. They have their own redneck Tourette's going on over there. Like Joel and Joel. In East Tennessee, they pronounce math, mayeth. Mayeth. I thought I was signing up for math class. Day 1, they're like, hey, y'all, welcome to math class. Today we learn how to subtract your teeth and divide your family. That'll be $80,000. Like, that math doesn't add up. I know, and I played football there too, not to brag, but D3, look out. Don't make me get down in there now. You still got a step. Oh. Pull a hammy on dry bar. Yeah, D3, that's where you pay to play. That's all. Yeah, nothing glamorous about Division III football, I will say. But it's interesting to see football now, people talking about concussions all the time. Kids getting concussions. Dude, when I played like 15 years ago, no such thing as concussions. It was just getting your bell rung. That was the official diagnosis by my coach with a GED and PE. I remember getting a concussion and being like, Coach, I think my brain's ringing. He's like, nah, boy, it's just the bell. You just rung it. Good job, an angel got its wings. That was proper form tackling, and we did it every single day. We would hone the craft of brain damage. That's how we would start practice. And I would go up against Daryl, all 280 of Daryl. And then this is how I would start practice every day. I'd be like, all right, Joel. Daryl's gonna run at you full speed. You're gonna wanna lead with your neck. Cause it's the weakest part of your body. It's like a shock absorber. You're gonna absorb Daryl in your neck, down your spine, and into your future. Now you're gonna hear a ringing, but that's just a bell. It's just a bell. But when you hear that ringing, it's time to hug Daryl. Like a lost lover. And hold on tight because you're gonna black out. And this was a liberal arts school. So it was basically like a Hogwarts for hippies. So a lot of big football teams, they get like celebrities to come in and speak and rally the troops. We had an English professor. Didn't know football, he only knew book titles. So he would come in and try to educate and motivate by rallying us up with book titles. So this was the big speech we got before our homecoming game against the local high school. He came in there, he's like, well, all right, outsiders. Sweet Valley High has been our rival since 1984. You heard their coach. He called us a bunch of Madame Bovaries raised on an animal farm. Well, hardy, 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 boys. This is our town, and our fans have great expectations. So let them feel the sound and fury from here to eternity as we teach those Nancy Drews crime and punishment. And when all is quiet on the Western Front, this brave new world will know that the outsiders were victorious in a tale of two cities. That one kills at the library. I'm really just hoping a kid sees that joke and then Googles what a book is. That's what I'm really hoping that does. A kid's like, well, what's a book? Because all they have is iPads, you know? I had an iPaddle. That's what I had. Oh, and my mom played tennis. Oh, she knew the form. I'm like, oh, you want to talk back? There's a backhand.
The truth is, I miss the kids. I waited for them to leave, and now they're all grown up, and now I miss them so terribly. They're at Ohio State. They're in college. One has just graduated, and my son says, Mom, it's not Ohio State. It's the Ohio State. It's the Ohio State. I said, quit bugging me, or else I'm not going to send you the rent. And then the big boy, you know, he got into veterinary medicine school. I was so proud of him. And then he called me up and he said that he didn't want to go. He wanted to play his guitar in Nashville. And as I hunched over crying for the next year, I realized that my prayer changed from I wanted my son to be a doctor to now I want my son to marry a doctor. And then my baby was doing he liked the football stuff. Do you like football out here in Utah? Because, you know, I'm in show business. What do I know about football? And in Ohio, you know, football is king. It's king. And my kid said to me he wanted to play football. And I didn't, but you jump in there because you're a good mom, right? So I asked him, because I wanted to help him, where's your costume? When is the rehearsal? What part are you playing? He said, Mom, it's a uniform, it's a practice, and I'm a tight end. I said, well, wear clean underwear is all I gotta say. Because I didn't know about this football thing, so then I tried harder and I called up the director. And I asked him, what must my kid do to be successful at this football thing? And he said he'll need a cup. I said 6, 12, or 18 ounces. Because I didn't know about this football thing, and then the director told me that my kid would need a mouth guard. You know what that is? That protects his teeth. I just put $4,000 worth of braces on my kid's head, and the mission of the other big lug is to knock it out of his head. I'm gonna be buying him dentures while at the same time paying off his braces. I am driving a 1996 Ford Escort so my kid could have a beautiful smile. I am driving my kid's smile, and the director said he needs a mouth guard. I didn't enjoy this. And then he told me that this football thing is not inside. It's outside. And it's November and October, and it's snowing and it's sleeting. And all those football moms they're in the bleachers, they're going, go D, they're so happy, go D, go D. And I'm thinking, could you get to the end of the alphabet? I'm cold. About an hour passes, everybody starts to leave. Intermission. As I start to leave, I notice on the performance space out there, I notice there's like dancing girls. And they have costumes on, and there's music. And I yell to the people leaving, come back, come back. You're gonna miss the show. And I couldn't help myself. I just stood up on the bleachers and I started to sing. A little louder, please. Don't let them see, don't let them guess. His mom's in the bleachers, she's a mess. It's violent, this football thing. And so I scream, let him live, let him live. But the coach says go. He's on defense real low, the football gets a snap. He runs around this kid to sack the quarterback. Another kid, 300 pounds, jumps on his back. 6 other kids pile on. He's at the bottom of the stack. Let him go. Let him go. Can't you see he's just my kid? Let him go. Let him go. He's got braces in his head. Can't you see what this is costing me? And the coach says, go. My son said, Mom, if you go to the game, please don't talk to anyone.
I was born and raised in Kentucky, went to high school in Kentucky, went to Campbell County High School, where our mascot was the camel. We were the Campbell County Camels in Kentucky. Our colors, purple and gold, you know, like a camel. I'm all for alliteration. I just wish that our mascot could have been something like a tad bit more intense, like the Campbell County Canines, or the Campbell County Cobras, or the Campbell County Cougars. And I'm not talking Wildcat, I'm talking like older woman that preys on young men aggressively. That's intense. It got so bad at our football games. This is how our announcer used to bring us out to the field. Ladies and gentlemen, give it up for your Campbell County Camels. Watch out, they spit.
Any former tomboys in the house? Yeah. Helps you navigate in the world. You're not so scared, right? Tomboy, I was one of the guys until I started liking the guys. Now I'm showing up to play tackle football with lip gloss and eyeliner on. Hormones all over the place. And the fellas are looking at me like, what's all that stuff on your face? I'm like, what stuff on my face? Hormones all over the place. So I was the secret weapon on my brother's football team, tackle football. They would pick me because no one ever suspected that I could tackle and knock you down. I'd hit you low, knock you flat. So I'm getting there right in front of the center of the other team. He's getting ready to hike the ball. I'm gonna knock him flat, like always. This time he hiked the ball, the guy knocks me flat. I'm on the ground, my brother comes over there, yo man, you better get up off my sister. I said, no, he's all right. Hormones all over. We just discussing a play. We just discussing.
You remember how Lucy used to put down the football and he get ready to kick it and she move it and he miss and fall on his butt? I used to always think, like, wouldn't it be funny if she put down the football and he get ready to kick it and she move it and he kick her in the stomach? I see everybody didn't laugh at that. Yeah. It's funny when she does it to him. If he does it to her, it's wrong. He get fussed at by the teacher and walk, 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 walk. I'm pressing charges, Charlie Brown.
I'm a big football fan. I'm so disappointed in y'all. Y'all saw the enthusiasm he had. Just on that alone, go with him. Y'all like, no, we a basketball city. We wishing John Stockton was still back. I don't know who he over there clapping for. I played college football for the University of North Texas. It's a Division I school. That was my mistake. I should have played at a Division 21 school. Because even the dude wrapping my ankles was bigger than me. I was like, I'm not supposed to be out here. So I played defensive line, and I was third string. Well, I was fourth string, but the second string got put on academic probation, so that bumped me up to third string. So what that means is I didn't get into the game unless we was winning or losing by 50 points, which was cool for me. So we went down and played Texas A&M. So by the third quarter, we was losing 53-0. So the coach gonna be like, Hampton, go in. I was like, for what? He was like, it's time. I was like, man. So I get in the game, and it's a dude in front of me. He is 6'8", 323 pounds. He wore cleats with no socks. He hit me so hard, I wanted to press charges. So the next play, I was like, dude, if you hit me that hard again, I'ma shoot you. I'm like, what are you doing? The game is over. He like, I'm trying to impress my coach. I'm like, you at Texas A&M. Clearly you have impressed your coach. So my mom wanted to support me. She was like, I'm gonna get one of them t-shirts that got your number on it and your name on the back. I was like, Mama, don't you do that. You gonna embarrass yourself at the game. You gonna be up there with the other players. They're gonna be like, well, ma'am, where your son at? Oh, he down there drinking Gatorade with the cheerleaders, with the clean jersey in the muddy game. That's him. So I maintain being a football fan. I really like Cam Newton because he makes football fun. He plays it for the fun of the game. He likes to celebrate. But the problem is the NFL don't like that he have fun playing the game. I'm like, NFL, stop. Stop being like that. Let him dab. It's cool. They're like, nope, 15-yard penalty. I'm like, then I think about it. I'm like, at the end of the day, it is just a football game. It ain't that serious to be having to celebrate. You know who I want to see celebrate? I want to see people in real life who should be celebrating. I want to see a doctor come out of surgery. Like, hey man, how did the surgery go? I want to see a fireman come out of a burning building Like, hey, did you say the baby? I got one more, but I don't know how to do the Dougie, so I can't do it. So just imagine in your head, the police caught somebody they were supposed to. Y'all got it? Y'all got it? Oh, it would have been so funny if I ever could learn to dance.
I went to my first Notre Dame football game this year. Yeah, any football fans here? It was fun. But there was this old lady sitting behind us singing the entire game. Every time the band would play, she'd pipe up. 90-year-old woman just driving us crazy the entire game. The entire game, she's driving us crazy. It's been like 6 months. I still can't sleep anymore. I wake up middle of the night. She's hovering above me with a pom-pom. So I thought I'd bring the sickness to you people here tonight. You don't remember a word I say. Hopefully, elk hunter will wake up middle of the night. I've always wanted to sing the national anthem at a major sporting event. Wouldn't that be great? You get out in the middle of the field, and hundreds and thousands of people are watching. It's like, oh, say, can you see? And the free and the home of life.
I'm disappointed with the lack of originality when it comes to naming high school football teams, especially when it comes to animals. There are 1 trillion species on this planet. Only 9 are used for all sports. I can prove it right now. Go ahead and clap if your high school football team was the Eagles. There's some Eagles here, all right. How about Bears? What are the Bears? Wow. That guy thinks high school mattered. All right. How about lions? Do we have any lions here? There's a couple cowardly lions in the back. How about wildcats? Do we have any of those? Yeah? That's not even a thing. It's a lazy meeting. What are you gonna be? I don't know, some sort of wildcat? Yep, that's it. Sure. Meeting adjourned. I always do like to ask, so anybody here come from a high school that had a unique team name? So nothing that's ever been used in like professional sports, NFL, NBA, baseball. Just go ahead and, yeah, just don't tell it to me, just cheer. What's that? The Buckaroos? Everyone cheering just sounds like a condescending dad. There you go, Buckaroo. Yeah. Even when you win, it can't feel good. Good job, Buckaroo.
Love football, that's my thing, man. I love me some football. Right, sir? You love it. I love football. I used to play football, but I never liked playing center because I'm ticklish. You ever do that? You're playing, even pickup games, they're going, okay, I'm right here. You don't want you back up in the shotgun, Favre. Get off me, baby. Leave me alone.
I went back into teaching, and it was going well. It was going okay. And then our school, it's a private Christian school, like many private Christian schools, got a little obsessed with football. And it started to become a political school in that way. In fact, we took down the sign that said, Christian character is what counts, and we put up a sign that said, Jesus wants you to make the playoffs. It makes sense, though, that all these Christian schools over the nations are obsessed with football. It's all over the Bible. Right before Jesus left, he was like, go out into all the world to make running backs of all men. Blessed are the quarterbacks, for they shall inherit financial aid. Maybe this is why Jesus had 12 disciples. He's just coaching an 11-man football program. Judas was the kicker.
My dad's moving to Florida. He's moving away. Kind of sad about that. Because my dad is he's a butch guy. He was a football player, and that's why I tried out. And so there were DNA tests. Right about when I went into theater, right around that time there. Yeah. He tried to get me to do things, you know. I know you have a lot of outdoor stuff here. He took me fishing, and I felt sorry for the bait. And I still remember vividly him putting the hook through the head of the anchovy. And I'm like, that's not even the one we're after? No! What kind of blood sport is this, you know, Dad? I'm not a vegetarian or anything, but, you know, that hit has to take place somewhere else, far away. As far as I know, my fish died of natural causes. Breaded. It froze to death in the shape of a rectangle. Mr. Gordon scooped him up.
I've always kind of been a bit of a chubby kid. Like, my parents used to try to come up with creative ways for me to get exercise. I wanted to play Little League football, but my mom wouldn't let me play because she was afraid I would get hurt. But she signed me up for what she thought was the next best thing. You might be thinking, basketball? No. Flag football? No. She signed me up for clogging. Clogging. It was terrible. I hated it. I was terrible at it. You guys, we had to dance to Sharp Dressed Man by ZZ Top at Christmas festivals. And I felt like a fraud because I was not a sharp-dressed man. Now, I was a chubby kid wearing white tap shoes, white jeans, and a shiny blue metallic shirt with white tassels all over it. You guys, I was the original Honey Boo Boo. I was the first. I did get to play Little League Baseball when I was a kid. That was cool. And it was back in the days when Gatorade first started becoming really popular. So we all thought if we drank a ton of Gatorade, we'd become amazing athletes like Michael Jordan. So before one of my games, I had like 3 Gatorades, and I was feeling great. Until about the 5th inning. That's when it hit me right about here. And I ran over to my coach. I was like, Coach, you gotta take me out of the game. I've gotta go to the bathroom right now. And he goes, this ain't basketball, boy. If I take you out of the game, you're done for the day. Now, you wanna be an all-star, or you wanna have a pee? Of course, I was like, I wanna be an all-star, Coach. He goes, good. Then you get your butt back out there and you sweat that pee out. And you guys, I tried. I honestly tried. But the human bladder can only hold so much liquid. Plus, they had sprinklers going on the next field over. So I was in the middle of going, hey, bladder, 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 bladder. When it just kind of released. Yeah. Wasn't much I could do about it either. I untucked my jersey and held my glove over the spot and just prayed that it would dry before anybody saw what happened. Unfortunately, I was playing first base. Right by the bleachers. And there was a kid on first, and he was leading off trying to steal second. And the pitcher saw that, so he threw me the ball so I could tag him out. Well, the kid slid back into first. He was safe. But while he was down on the ground, he looked up and saw what I had done. And he goes, you peed your pants. So I looked down and said, you just slid through it. Got a little right here, by the way.
I was not a tough kid growing up, had the glasses. I was a bit of a late bloomer. I went out for the wrestling team in high school. Thought that would help toughen me up. Yeah, wrestling's a very tough sport. Although, as it turns out, by far, least toughest uniform. Yeah, I don't know if you're familiar with it. The uniform is called a singlet. Or as my mom used to refer to it, your onesie. Oh, thanks a lot, Ma. Yeah, as if I don't have enough self-esteem issues already. As a 100-pound high school freshman with a lazy eye, you're gonna refer to my uniform as a onesie. That's awesome. Hey, maybe we could sew some footies on the bottom. Get some snaps up the front, that'd be cozy. I just never understood that uniform for that sport. It seems a little insufficient, right? You're playing hockey, football, you're wearing body armor, helmets, pads, covering everything. I'm in a full contact sport. The only thing they're gonna give me equipment-wise to protect my most vulnerable area is a thin layer of spandex. But then the coach is like, hey, let's go ahead and make sure those ears are well protected. Yeah. Yeah, that's priority number one, right, fellas? Yeah, heaven forbid you take a knee in the ear. Yeah, that'll ruin your day. You're out there, oh, great, now I won't be able to hear the kids I'll never have.
Love sports. Like football, who's your favorite football team? Cowboys? Broncos? I like college football. I think they make too much money in the pros. $10 million a year? I should never see a guy making $10 million a year limping to the sideline. He should have to stay in the game till something falls off. Too much celebration in football. A guy will make a tackle. Yeah, look at me, I knocked someone down. You're making $10 million a year, shut up. For $10 million a year, your helmet ought to light up and a flare should out your uniform somewhere. You don't see blockers running around, look at me, I got in the way. If I'm making $10 million a year, only time I will celebrate, every 2 weeks when I get my darn check. I'll be headbutting people I don't even know. 6 figures, 2 weeks of work, who's the man? Drive it back to the high school and show it to that math teacher thought I was stupid. 6 figures, 2 weeks of work, who's the man? Here's an apple, I can afford him now. Love some sports.
My sisters made me dance something. So for a guy, I love to dance. In high school, I didn't know any better. I took a dance class, but I was the only boy in the class. Guys on the football team would tease me every day. The same thing, dude, what are you, queer? Take a dance? I'm like, dude, lighten up. There are 40 girls in spandex and me are 300 sweaty guys on the football team with their hands on each other's crotch. Who's in the closet now, Bubba? Yeah. You should see my plie. Hey, don't challenge, I will. Try to overcompensate because that's what men do. Testosterone, it's in our DNA. I played ice hockey. I was really good because we were poor. I couldn't afford any equipment. You got to be fast. You get your head taken off out there. I didn't even have a cup, so my mom took an old Tupperware bowl and shoved it down my shorts. Yeah, you laugh. It worked. I got hit there once and it burped. And nobody stole my lunch again. Stop bringing soup to school.
Getting older and strange things are happening to me. My body is betraying me. And that's what happens. You don't realize that when you're younger, if you have an injury, there was an incident. Something happened to cause this. You're 20, you're playing football. I twisted my knee. Gotta stop playing football. Then in your 40s, it's the injury comes back. The old football injury's in town again. Then you turn 50 and you think, I was watching someone play football. Now there's a bone sticking out of my thigh. I'm not sure.
So I have 3 amazing kids. We call them deductibles. Yeah, that's why I had them. My oldest son is amazing. He played football in high school. I don't recommend that your children play sports. They stink. Ooh. And we have 4 seasons in Texas. Warm, hot, blazing. So today I was like, it's overcast, it's sunny, it's snowing sideways, there's a windstorm. I'm like, get inside! It's dangerous here. My kids are great. The oldest son, he played football, and he's always notifying me of stuff. He got in the car, he's like, Mom, I didn't have time to shower after football practice today, August in Texas. And I said, oh, you didn't? He goes, but I did put on some Axe. I said, James, there's more than one serving in that. Have you smelled this stuff? It's like spray fabuloso. He's the best. One time he was like, now, Mom, I didn't have football practice today. Do you still want me to shower? I don't know, you're 6'2" and you're breathing. Yeah, go grab a Tide Pod and dry off with a bounce dryer sheet.
My brain is 22 years old, tops. Tops. My body is not. And as you get older, your body tells you you're not young in embarrassing ways. A couple examples. Okay, last fall, I pulled the muscle in my neck watching TV. Yeah, I'd give anything to be making that up, but I am not, man. Had some friends over to watch football, and I was looking away from the thing, talking to my friend, and something happened on the field. I went, oh, no! A football injury at my age, that's what I'm telling people.
My mom, so she actually is from the South, and in the 60s, she met my father. She was a nurse at a hospital, and he was a resident, he was a surgeon, and they would argue all the time in the emergency room among all the blood and splatter, everything. They're like, hey, if we can do this here, we can do this in real life. Let's get married. Let's do this. And so she's like, I'm gonna go and travel to Iran and leave my family, and she left and she went over there. She was there 15 years of her life. You know, and it's amazing. You think of blonde-headed, green-eyed American woman in Iran, 15 years. She's like, there's something missing in my life. What is it? Freedom! How do we get that back? They took her 2 years to get us, home, or here to Chattanooga, Tennessee is where we ended up. Yeah, I know, man. They did not do football in Chattanooga, Tennessee in 1981. It's like, we wanted to play football, and they're like, well, we got pads for them little fellas, but we'll try it, And pads, we just want to kick the ball. And so we weren't playing soccer, but we knew it as football. So we go to this place, it's a Presbyterian church, and they had 12 fields, and they're like really amped up about soccer, right? And we go sign up, and I got two brothers, right? They're older, I'm the youngest, I'm the biggest. But they were delicious. I just kind of sucked them all in. So we go sign up, and my oldest brother's Majid, my middle brother's Mehdi, and I'm Mahmoud, and the little blue-haired lady behind the counter, she's like, we can't say these names. You're gonna have to have some American names. I don't know if your boys are good, but if they're bad, the coaches are going to yell at them and stuff. And they try to say this, and all of a sudden spitting everywhere, getting all, in the spirit and all. Snakes are going to rise up. We ain't that kind of church. So she named me Mike, but she pronounced it Mac. Okay, you're going to be Mac. I'm like, what is a Mac? I don't understand, but I was Mike, And then that stupid commercial came out. Oh, Mikey, he'll eat anything. She knew right up front. Like, oh yeah, it's gonna be him.
I was a head football coach and drama instructor at a high school in South Carolina for 10 years. Yeah, that did not work out. But it was a conservative Christian school in the Bible Belt in South Carolina. Like, what are you allowed to say to those kids at halftime when they're getting their butts kicked, huh? Like, you boys need to get back out there and turn the other cheek. It was a Protestant school, not a Catholic school, so they wouldn't let me run a Hail Mary. It's just... I had to run a Bless Billy Graham, was just not... I couldn't get my running back to fake a handoff because he's like, my dad said that's technically lying. I was like, will you tell your dad that we are not going to make the playoffs? And he needs to be emotionally prepared for that. I used to teach my 11 players on the field to pray for the other team's injured player because I thought as a Christian school, if they brought the other injury card out to deal with the injured player, as a Christian school, we should show the other school that we were willing to pretend like we cared about them. Dear Lord, just lift up the other team's best running back to you and help him get all the way better, Lord. Help him get all the way better, Lord, tomorrow, because he is killing us off tackle, Jesus, and I believe it's your will that we win this one. And you said where two or more are gathered. And delusional parents of these private schools want to have a little meeting with Coach Simpson and explain to me that I'm showing favoritism and that I'm not playing their kid at wide receiver because I just don't like their kid personally. And I would tell all those rich private school parents the same thing. You're right. I don't like your son. No one at our school does. But that has nothing to do with it. I don't like the little twerp that is playing wide receiver, but guess what? He can catch. Why don't you come to practice every now and then and watch us bounce the ball off your kid's head so then you can understand what God's plan for your kid's life is. So maybe be in the band. I got nothing against the band. I was the high school drama instructor. I put on the school plays. I know that's an odd combination. I tell everybody every fall I just acted like the football coach. I wrote the school's fight song that the band played every time we scored, like 4 times a year. I'm just saying it might be God's plan for your kid's life for him to be in the band instead of on the team because he can't run very far without falling. He can't run very fast without coughing. He can't even snap his own helmet, but he can play the clarinet. The only reason your kid is on the team is because my school didn't let me cut players during tryouts. They said it's not biblically right to cut a player from tryouts if he's always tried his hardest, always had a good attitude, and always been on time with his $26,000 tuition payment. I'm quite certain, ma'am, it outlines for me in the Bible, the same Bible you're looking at, how all football coaches should react in a situation like this. And it's with love, peace, patience, joyfulness, kindness, gentleness, self-control, and all football coaches should be able to cut a kid from the team if he's as bad as your kid is. Just get out of my office. Just go. In peace and serve the Lord, because there are video cameras everywhere today. So I was fired from that job, is what I'm saying. I wasn't fired. I'm just teasing with y'all. It was a mutual decision. It's a win-win, is what I call that. That's people are like, Marty, you look like you miss coaching and teaching, man. You look like you miss it. I'm like, I miss it every day. And they're like, would you ever get back into coaching and teaching? I was like, I would get back into it tomorrow at an orphanage. See, there's no parents to deal with at an orphanage. That's what. I'm just making sure we're tracking. Just.
Got my older daughter, Emma Frances Callahan. She is a millennial. They're fun. She's 23, but when she was born with colic. She cried all the time. People go, oh, that was tough. When did it stop? I said, she's 23. I'll keep you posted. I was arguing with her, and she was indignant. She goes, you're too aggressive. I go, Emma, let me explain something to you. My father was an Irish Catholic teamster. Do you want to see aggressive? You have no idea what aggressive is. Growing up, my father would say things to me like, you know, you're not my real son. My real son plays football for Notre Dame. I'm like, oh, what a coincidence. My real father could afford to send me there. We laugh, and then he beat me unconscious. My dad would give me Alamo beatings. An Alamo beating was if I would just shut up, he'd stop beating me. But I was going out like the Alamo. The odds were against me. My guns were a-blaring. I don't know what I did one day. He chased me up down my room. I shut the door. I put my back against the door. He literally put his fist through the door and was reaching for me like a zombie movie. My sister's in the other room going, Joey, just shut up. And of course, I gotta go, who is it? I'm not a sports guy. My dad lives and breathes sports. I'm not a sports guy. And my dad tried to introduce me to sports when I was a kid growing up in the 70s. He bought me something called a Johnny Bench pitchback machine. Does any of the old guys remember what this was? You young guys, listen to what it was. It was a net that you threw a ball into and the ball would come back and you catch it. So whoever bought this for you was basically saying, look, we know you don't have any friends that will have a catch with you. We'll buy you something that will. My older daughter, Emma, did cheerleading for Pee Wee football. Oh, that was excruciating. You could tell all the fathers who had sons doing the Pee Wee football. And you could tell all the fathers who had daughters that had to be there. All the fathers walking up and down the sideline, suck it up, Timmy. Let's see some hustle, Bobby. What am I gonna do? Good spin, Emma. Nice twirl, Courtney.
We were not allowed to play football as kids. My mother would say stuff like this: it's gonna damage your brain. Turns out she was right, by the way, okay? But my cousin Richard, 6'5", 275 pounds, played football at the University of North Carolina. When he got married, it was like two big Italian guys, an Irish guy, a German guy, and me. I had the smallest neck in the wedding party. When you looked at the line of groomsmen, it was like stages of evolution. I was the one standing up on two legs, yes.
I went to college for this, believe it or not. Thank you. I went to The Ohio State University. It's like it's just the three of us. I love college football. You guys like college football like I do? I love it. Yeah, I tell you, the big game for me a few years back, we played Notre Dame in the Fiesta Bowl. That was huge. My father went there, all my brothers went. By the time I was 18, he gets so sick of hearing about it. I was like, Dad, I ain't going to Notre Dame. He's like, yeah, you're not kidding, Mr. 1.9. That decision's been made for you, dummy. They don't even want you going to church anymore. It's such big business now, isn't it, this college football? Is it too much, all these millions of dollars? I don't know. You never see Ohio State play Harvard, will you? That's silly. Harvard, you got the school football game might break out some weekend. Ohio State, you got football. Somebody might take a class every now and then. If they ever played, the play-by-play be something like, and Harvard's quarterback is dropped behind the line again for loss of 40. Harvard's man there, of course, is Chad Elmhurst III. Chad is an academic All-American at Harvard, majored in physics with a minor in mathematics. And Bob, they tell me he's actually graduating a year early. Well, he's not going anywhere right now because he was flattened by Big Moose McCauley. Moose is a sixth-year redshirt freshman. Majored in scuba diving. He drives a Lexus. I don't know how he affords that with his summer landscaping job.
My son gets into this new school, and my son loves sports. He loves to watch sports, play sports. His favorite sport is football, all right? That is American football, all right? None of this crap, all right? Real football, all right? With touchdowns and such, where you can actually hit them. Not just flick them in the air and they're like, ah! They're like, red card! You know that crap? Got soccer fans in the crowd? What's going on here? But he loves football. He loves football. So what he did is he took a football to this new school to play with his new friends, which is great, right? But no, Teacher Meredith stops him. She's like, I'm sorry, young man. You can't play with that ball here. That ball has a pointy end, and it might hurt the other kids. I'm like, what? It's a football. She's like, yeah, actually, sir, we don't allow baseballs either. Those things are hard. They could hurt the other kids. I'm like, do you have any other stupid crap to tell us? She's like, actually, since you asked, when it snows here, we don't allow the kids to make balls out of the snow because we're worried that they might throw them at each other. I'm like, that's what you do with a snowball, lady. You throw them at people. Round of applause if you had epic snowball fights when you were a kid. Yeah. They were great, man. I grew up in the late 80s, early 90s. We had epic snowball fights. We had one rule. You couldn't cross the line. That was it. You get that perfect snowball, you dunk it in water, get it all hard, right? Yeah, it was the 80s, kids could take it, they were tough, okay? See your best friend across the field, you're like, bam! Hits him right in the face. His nose is bleeding, he's crying. But did he hate you? No, he respected you for it. Because kids were tough, man. Kids aren't tough anymore. They're not tough. I know some of you might be thinking, oh, my kid's tough. No, they're not, the little wieners, all right? They're not tough. But it's not their fault. They're just getting rid of all the stuff that makes kids tough anymore. For example, on the playground, you know what they got rid of? The merry-go-round. You guys remember the merry-go-round? Thing will mess you up, huh? Yeah, they got rid of that because of how we got on it, all right? Because you didn't just get on that thing, 1 foot on, 1 foot off, grab all that bar. Another little kid named Timmy, he's just straddling the inside bar with hope and happiness in his eyes. You're like, all right, Timmy, you ready? Here we go. This is fun, isn't it, Timmy? No, that's not how you got on. How did you get on that thing? You're like, you were flying. Yeah, 0 to 60, right? Yep. 0 to 60 in 0.2 seconds. You were gone. Yeah, what's Timmy doing? He's racking himself on that inside bar, right? Just like, vomiting, just a spray of vomit. It was awesome. But you didn't get near that thing at full velocity. When it was like really going, because like, it hurts. There was one idiot kid that would try. He would just latch on, and if you were too close, his feet would kick you in the head. Right before it slingshot him across the playground, and he would skip across the pavement like a skipping rock. The pavement, remember the pavement? It was either pavement, gravel, or shards of wood. Big shards. They impaled you. You got hurt on the playground when I was a kid, right? Then they got rid of the good swings, the big ones, those huge ones, the ones that would send you to the moon, right? Those huge swings. They got rid of those because of how we got off of them. Because you didn't wait for the swing to stop, did you? No. When that bell rang to go inside for school, you just got off wherever you were at. Right? So if you're at the top of the swing, it's like, guess I'm flying today. Woo! And it hurt, but we did it. My mom was the best swing pusher. You felt safe with her. She loved you. Every push was love. She's like, I love you. I missed you. My dad would try and wrap me around the top pole if he could. Right? He made it a goal. He's like, we have insurance. Let's do this. Right? Let's put our premium to work. Right? Dad did what we called the underdog. I don't know if you guys know what that is, right? If you don't know what the underdog is, that's when Dad's pushing you, right? Dad goes all the way through, right? But right before going all the way through, he does a little flick. You know what the flick does? It kinks both the chains. So when you come back down, you free fall, drop down, all right? If you lived through a day of Dad pushing you on the swing, you felt alive that day. And you hugged Mom just a little bit tighter when you got home. Right? Oh. Guys, on the playground, we played games just to hurt each other. That's what we did. We played butts up. Anyone want to play butts up? Yeah. All you needed was a bunch of your friends, a wall, and a tennis ball, all right? How you play this game is you throw that ball against the wall. One of your buddies will try and go and catch that ball before it hits the ground. If they try and catch it and drop it, they have to run and touch the wall before one of your buddies grabs that ball and throws it against the wall. If the ball gets there before you do, you now have to stand on that wall like this while your buddies each get a turn and pegging you with it at short range. It was awesome. And here's the thing, guys. I love butts up. I was a big kid. Okay, I was chunky. I was a fat kid. Okay. I was a big kid. When I smiled, like I had the big puffy cheeks, you know, the puffy. So every time I smiled, I couldn't see anymore. It was just like, I couldn't see. I was a big kid. So we're playing butts up, that ball comes off the wall. I'm like, yes, I go to catch it, and I miss it with my chubby fingers. And falls to the ground, I'm like, no. And I go to touch the wall, I touch it, I'm like, ah! Then the ball goes, hits me in the face. Blood everywhere. Then we played Smear the Person. Anyone ever play Smear the Person? Terrible name for a game, am I right? That is a terrible name. But when you're a kid, you don't know. It's just the name of the game. You play it, and if you don't know what that is, basically you have a football, again, a bunch of your buddies. Who's ever touching the ball gets obliterated by everyone else, right?
I like sports, man, but I'll be honest. Sometimes I think in this country, people take football a little too seriously, right? They're my non-sports fans, yes. Go Cougars. I meant that kind. Anyways. Kidding. Sometimes I think people take football a little too seriously. Like, a few years ago, I was watching the college football playoffs, and Alabama was playing, and they lost. And after the game, they showed the stands. They showed college students from Alabama crying. I'm like, that is gross. You're crying because you lost a football game? The only reason you should be crying is because you're from Alabama. Win or lose, you gotta go back to Tuscaloosa. It don't take a lot of sweet tea to drown those tears. Come on. I like sports. I get annoyed by the broadcasters because I feel like they always use the same lines, the same cliches, right? Like in football, when a player scores a touchdown, there's like the celebratory dance. A lot of times you hear the announcers go, "Oh my gosh, that was a classless display. That was classless." I'm like, really? This is a game where people knock each other out and break their necks. You're talking about class? This is not the opera or a beauty pageant. I know if I played football, I scored a touchdown, and I was still alive, I'd want to do a dance too. What's up? Hey, touchdown. Thank you, same girl. Anyways, this is...